Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage, where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is about the 5 stages of growing wealth, where you start right at the bottom and kind of going upwards from there. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. So this is the kind of thing that definitely should be taught in schools when you're growing up, because this is the thing that will make the difference long term to how your financial journey is. And in some ways it's like really straightforward and really obvious, but it's not if you don't know about it in the first place. So today I'm going to talk about the 5 different stages of building wealth and what that means when you get to each stage, what that can mean for your finances and going forward to moving on up the ladder, so to speak. So the first one is where you have a negative net worth, where your overall debt is more than your assets. So especially if you've got things like credit card debt, car loans, that kind of thing, that might mean that your overall net worth is actually a minus figure because the amount that you owe is more than what you currently have in terms of things that you could sell to get money. That's the first stage, and especially when you first kind of get out of university, you maybe get your first job, you are having to kind of rent somewhere, maybe you might have bought your first car, you've got student loans, you might have a credit card. Most of us start there, unless we're incredibly lucky and get some kind of help along the way, but most people start with the negative net worth. The second stage of this is then to have net worth of 0. So your debt is the same as the assets, so there's nothing that kind of is overlapping, it literally equals the same. So the amount you owe is equal to the amount that they're worth. And we're kind of going upwards. Can you see that's the second step of the ladder? The third one is this net worth of positive, even if it's just by £1, which means that the things that you owe are worth more than the debt you might have. And especially when you get a mortgage, that will help you if you put a deposit down for that to be positive in the end, for example. But that is the first kind of positive sign of your finances tipping in your favour, as opposed to, say, owing lots of money to the bank. The next one is to grow that net worth. So the easiest way to work out net worth is, and I'll leave a link below to a blog post where this goes into more detail, but you work out what you owe. So for us it's things like mortgage and student loans, and that's pretty much it. And then you take into account how much your house is worth, how much your car might be worth, how much you have in savings, how much you have in investments. Some people include pensions in that, it's up to you. And basically what you own as assets, you take that number, take away the amount of debt you owe and see what the figure is at the bottom, and hopefully that will be positive. And then the next stage is to pay down the debts, continue to reduce that, and your net worth will go up because you're increasing the amount that you own and decreasing the amount that you owe somebody else. And over time that should increase, providing you don't take on more debt in some shape or form. So some people might want to move to a bigger house, get a bigger mortgage, but the house that you buy should be worth more as well. Does that make sense? So the next stage there is to grow that net worth, to grow that number between what you own and what you owe somebody else. And the 5th stage for growing wealth, and then you just rinse and repeat, is to get those different income streams going and keep those expenses low. So get your multiple income sources. Don't just rely on that one income source. So many of these personal finance books that look at habits of wealthy people say that the average number of income streams for rich people are 7 income streams. So multiply those income streams, keep your expenses low, you then increase your net worth because you are paying off that debt still, and increase in things like investments and savings and the value in your home because you're paying off that mortgage. All that kind of stuff means that you're growing your own wealth and providing yourself with that stable financial future. So if you keep your expenses low still, so don't give in to the lifestyle creep, try and keep them not ridiculously low, but keep them at kind of a sensible point, I suppose you'd say, and invest the rest, invest into kind of assets that will keep you, or keep your money where it should be. So things, I'm going to say this, so like dividend income paying stocks, so they pay you an income, growth stocks, which they get more and more in value, so then you have more and more. Other people like to invest in like classic cars, there's different kind of designer things, whatever you want to invest in, and keeping that in terms of growing your wealth fairly straightforward. If you don't want to get too kind of into the finer details, find a fund, put all your spare money into that, leave it alone. It can be as simple as that. So the 5 stages are: your first stage will be the negative net worth. Work on paying down that debt. Second one is where your debt is the same as your assets, so your net worth is 0. Third is where your net worth is positive, therefore the assets that you own is more than the debt you currently owe. The next one there is then growing that divide between what you owe and what you own. So you own more, you owe less, so growing that net worth. And then the 5th one is to kind of just repeat that over and over, so continue to pay down debt, increase your investment savings, however you want to look at that. Get those multiple income sources, if possible, in there. It's just stable, isn't it? It's more stable than just relying on one income source. And this is why this should be taught in schools. We are taught, do your qualifications, get a job, stay there for 40 years and then retire. It doesn't have to be that prescriptive. In fact, it shouldn't. And unfortunately for lots of people at the moment who do rely on one income source, and my main job is my main income source, I'm in the same boat. If that was to disappear, we'd struggle really quickly. It's building that so that you're not just relying on that one income stream, and there are different ones, and therefore you are more in control of what happens and growing that wealth. And then perhaps you might want to look at a financial independence or retiring early if you are able to. But they are the 5 stages of growing wealth to get you started on that path, on that road to wherever you want that to lead you to. Do you have any other suggestions? Do you have suggestions on how you would move to one stage to the other? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for yet another video in this year's Vlogmas.